Well, I just finished a swim here at 24 Hour Fitness in Redwood City, California. I've been thinking about um, calling this series of videos Worthless Anecdotes. I'm not trying to be cute, it's just that I have a lot of things that I'd like to probably share someplace as just the interesting anecdotes that everyone has in their life. Um, but I'm too lazy to write it all down. And writing it down always makes me think I need to add some research to it that I don't want to add because that's a lot of work. But I was thinking about how I got my first job, and I think I'll do this as my first anecdote because I was in South Carolina going to the University of South Carolina as a Gamecock, and I was majoring in broadcast journalism. I majored in broadcast journalism because being a kid from a small town in South Carolina, the closest thing to the magic of Hollywood movies and TV was to major in journalism. And I was interested in media stuff, still am. So I was in my third year of broadcast journalism, or maybe it was my fourth, but it was around 1973 or 74, and I needed a job that was in broadcasting instead of working at like the produce department at A&P, which I did do at one point. I had no idea what was a ripe watermelon, which was a not ripe watermelon, but I certainly bluffed my way through it by showing people, oh, this is a good one, when I really had no clue. So it's time to get a job, a real job in broadcasting, because that's what I wanted to do. And so I went to this radio station in Columbia, South Carolina, WCOS. WCOS had just gone from, WCOS FM, I should say. FM was about to explode, and AM radio is going to start going downhill. Excuse me. And so I wanted to get a job at WCOS FM. They had just switched from a rock format to a country format, and the world-famous Woody Windham was the mastermind behind that. And Woody Windham, for those of you in South Carolina who know him, the major figure in South Carolina broadcasting, and a wonderful guy, and a very funny, creative man. A controversial man, perhaps, in some quarters, but I don't know why. I don't know. Some people, just would like to, I guess because he had long hair at one point, or, and certainly was on the cutting edge or leading edge of moving into an alternative format here and there in his radio career. Anyway, wonderful AM and FM announcer with a wonderful history and a great voice and funny. Anyway, I said, how am I going to get this job at WCOS? Well, I just got the guts one day to walk into the Cornell Arms building, which was an office building or apartment building in downtown Columbia. On the first floor, there was a smoke-filled snack bar and I think a barber shop. And I went up to the second floor where they had the radio station. I went up there one day with my friend Dave Lander. He's still a friend as of 2018 when I'm doing this video. He's still a very close friend. Dave, I don't know why I took him with me, but I went up to the second floor of the Cornell Arms in Columbia, South Carolina, and I walked in. Maybe I had a one-page resume with me, but the only thing that could have been on my resume was the fact that I worked at the A&P thumping watermelons. I did not mean that in an obscene way, but I guess it could be taken that way, me and the watermelon. Anyway, I went in and there was a receptionist there. I think she was smoking a cigarette, and I said, hey, I'm here to see Woody Windham. And she said, well, he's right there in that office. So Woody was the mastermind of WCOS FM, and I thought maybe I could just go in and get a job. Naive, right? And so she said, well, just walk on in that office there. And I walked into the office. Dave was with me. I guess I had a tie on, and Woody Windham looked at me from behind his desk and with kind of a bemused, what do you want sort of look. And I told him I was a student at the University of South Carolina and I liked the radio station. I wanted to work for him. He had other people from his WCOS FM and AM gang sitting around the office, and they all just I think they kind of looked at me with some sort of amusement. And Woody said, well, you got a tape, like an audition tape? And I said, yeah. He said, well, would you be willing to make us a tape? Meaning I would use their equipment. And I said, sure, I'll do it. And so he said, all right, and left the tape on his desk and whatever my piece of paper said. And then I think the next day I came in and used their production equipment and made a tape. And the tape is me introducing records, I believe. I wasn't very good at it, but there was a magic to doing it anyway. I did this crummy tape, gave it to him, and then he asked me to come in and learn the board, which was no more than a 20-minute training session. Next thing you know, I was on the air at WCOS FM, the Great 98 as it was called then, playing country music. And that led to other things in broadcasting, and it was the first big break I had. And I can't thank you enough, Woody Windham, for letting me work with you for a couple years. He and I even actually tried a morning show together at one point for a couple weeks. It sucked because I wasn't very good at it. He was great, though, and very funny, and always wonderful to be around. So thank you, Woody Windham, wherever you are, and thank you, WCOS FM. Now it's gone through several iterations, and it's God only knows where the station is. I listen to it when I go back to South Carolina. It's now called something else. But anyway, Woody Windham, you really helped me, and there wasn't a lot of fluff around it. It wasn't much of an interview, but you gave me a job and gave me a chance to work in broadcasting, and that led to me getting a job at WIS-TV and some other broadcast things and great relationships. And you probably don't remember me, Woody, but WCOS FM and AM, Cornell Arms, Woody Windham, Bob Fulton, all those people, thank you so much. And that's my first anecdote, and it's probably 99% true.